degree of hurt, even as human being, even for physical pain. It's not all level of cut, wound, or bruises that heal with the same time. If you just scratch your hand, maybe before night, it will scatter. If you have a cut, maybe you're cutting onions, or you're trying to cook indomie, cutting carrots, and it cuts you, it takes longer time. That is to say that for different pain, for different trauma, for different experience, the healing process differs. So don't judge your journey with mine. And be very careful not to use the exact words of the author so that we'll not be lost in grammar. Practical experience. Practical experience. So what might take somebody a month to heal might take another a year. The destination is same. The time frame is different. The goal is the same, to heal and to be truly healed. So don't be in a hurry to jump onto the next available bus, onto the next available experience if you've not healed from the former. If not, you will abuse relationship and you will make foolishness of kindness. Not intentionally, but don't forget you're carrying something. And a higher life, someone that lives a higher life doesn't travel with load. You need to travel light. So you need to let go of the experience, need to let go of the memories, need to let go of whatever it is that comes with it. Some people are so petty or so unhealed that even if they get to that, the scene of the act, everything plays again like movie. That's how the body has been wired. There's a part of you, your exterior being will bring it back to life. You know, it travels down. And it will remind you how it happened. Some people even say, it's at this very spot that he broke my heart. This was where we were standing. It's not because you intentionally lost that experience or memorized the whole thing, because you're not expecting it, of course. But there is a part of your body that brings it back to remembrance. Now, when that happens, do you smile through it, or you now start thinking that, I think I didn't insult him enough. Let me go back. Let me unblock and give him my mind truly. Does it make sense? Now, you can't live a higher life like that, because many of us have missed treasures because we are holding on to gold-plated stones. We had a bad experience with something, with someone, with a system. There are people that have given up on relationship, church, growth, mentorship, not because of the word, but because of one man or one person's act. And they just tell you, I'm done. Now, avoiding to climb a mountain because it's too high doesn't make it any smaller. That you say, I'm not ready to climb this thing now, it's high, maybe tomorrow. When you come back, it's still high. It doesn't become smaller. So the decision to heal is not something you should procrastinate. The earlier you start, the better, because you don't even know how long your own journey is. And our experiences, our activities, and our upbringing, our environment shapes our mind, and it helps determine how much we cope with changes and letting go of things. Are we following? Do we understand the book now? So even if someone walks up to you and say, healing is the new high, do you have anything to say? Do you have something to say? Okay, so I'm coming to you. What do you have to say?
Yeah, I have a question.
I'm not be the author. Okay, Mr. Patrick is there. He's a co-author. He creates. We co-create. So, okay, you have a question. Maybe we'll take it at the end before we wrap up, so you won't make us remember the things we are healing from. Can you now tell about the book? Now they fair to answer. I want to see the. Yeah? Okay. Thank you, my dear.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm really blessed to be here. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, I must say that I was in the meeting online, but I downloaded the book, but I didn't read it. But with the few explanation, things you have highlighted, is something. In fact, this book is why we are here. It's just telling us this is why you are here, to be healed from your mindset. Because just like the Bible said in Romans, be not be conformed by the things of the world, but the renewing of your mind. So like what you said, someone offend you, And sometimes you find it difficult to let go. So, but by this book, by what you have been taught today, we have been taught is that we should let go and forget. Some of us already have it. It's already in us, you know. But I just have to say it because some of us here are still struggling with it. You know, sometimes they said experience is the best teacher. But me, I would say my experience, I don't look at it because I learn every day. So I don't allow experience to teach me. I teach before the experience will come. So I teach myself first before the experience. Because when the experience comes, it will look as a stepping stone for me to move higher. So I believe that by this book here, I think even if I'm late today, missing the first phase, I'm taking something extra home. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay. Also, one of the ways you will help yourself to heal is to develop self-awareness. Know the thing that triggers the hurt or the reminder. Know the things that bring to memory whatever it is you're trying to heal from, be it a place, a situation, or a person. Let me come to our sisters. If it's a dark guy, avoid dark guys because they will always be a trigger. Does that make sense? You will not agree. Tell me now. Tell me the one that makes sense to you. Hold the mic. Don't worry. Feel free. Explain it.
If he's a dark guy, avoid dark guys.
If that's your trigger, and the person that did the thing,
Like, almost everybody in Africa is dark.
does that mean you're not healing anytime soon? Does that mean she's not healing anytime soon? Okay, see, our forefathers practice this thing we are doing now. It's just that they are not so touched like we are. There's an adage in the Igbo palace that says, Onya water, ihe obuna di ogonogo. Like someone that is beaten by a snake, if you see anything long, you just think this is a snake. Forgive my Igbo, Nabi. You understand? But I'm explaining proverb. I'm not supposed to explain. So I do not return my mother's bride price. So the thing is, what the author is trying to say is, be aware of what triggers you. Be aware of what caused that trauma. That's why I use the instant that if it's a tall, dark guy, because you hear yourself saying, now they do all this femi them. Are you femi? Okay, it now makes sense. There is a name that you hear. So I can just come, see, brothers are saying precious. So you just see now you meet, okay, my name is Amaka. And somebody can ask me, what's your name? I will say Amaka. Amaka, where they disappoint. You already said it before I said it. So now, is that not a trigger? So if somebody is coming and like, what's your name? My name is Amaka. You are the fourth Amaka I'm meeting. I hope you will not disappoint me. They will say, I hope you will not disappoint me. And I will be like, don't worry, I will not disappoint you. As that relationship progresses, be it at work, be it in school, that person has somewhere written, this person, Amaka, there is a tendency to disappoint. Paraventure, any day I get unfortunate, me, I know say you go down, I don't dey wait since. But that's how we've been living. That's how we've lived the past 25, 30 plus.
That's why it seems like we're never out of it. And this is a place we need to really think. You ask yourself, why am I attracting the same kind of people? The same kind of job, right? So your boss was like me, wicked boss. And you hate me. You hold on to it. You would take care and go to another place. That boss is good though. But the construction has not been deconstructed. So you are going to be watching, is it like this or not that? And yet you are not.
You see, you see, these are the issues, and we laugh at. Now, do you understand what I mean by avoid dark guys? Because it's like we are running around a vicious circle, thinking we are healed, but we are not healed. We are only extending the hurt. You know, adding salt on injury, you're deepening the scar. I already have a cut here. I know what it feels like. So when another experience come, I add to it. And you know, by experience, you start having this resistance to pain. Just say, I don't see 99. I'm not scared of 100. So you just travel with that mindset that somebody is going to do this to me. So when the person does it, I'm not surprised. We even bring it down to tribes, race, ethnicity, including food. Because when I ate this food, this happened to me. So if I see it somewhere and I see you eating it, I just assume that you're not normal. How can you eat this kind of thing? Where are you from? Oh, you are from the east. Igbo girls, no, leave them. So, and you see, we are traveling with that, and we go through life. Now, woe betide the man whose path to growth and success is laden with that people you don't want to see. Will you ever get to that growth? No. Will you ever attain that pinnacle? No. Why? Because trauma, hurt, pain, you're traveling with it, baggage in, baggage out. You're already there, you know what you're expecting and all. But Verse King is telling us this afternoon, we need to let go of hurt. It's late. It's okay if it takes time. Cry about it if you must cry. Shout if you must shout. Meditate, do yoga. There are people that when they're in a toxic environment, they just shut out. They shut their physical ears and they start reasoning with their inner man. That is when they activate the soul body, the exterior body. You see people trying to do like the universe peace. You know, when you say wake up in the morning and speak positivity, it doesn't mean that that thing you're speaking will make sun to rise from the south. No, it just means that you've created an atmosphere for yourself that even if you go out and something wants to ruin that thing, you're ready to diffuse it. You just say, is this why that thing came this morning? Let's go. No, you won't see me today. Satan, the number you are calling is not what? Available. That is it. So we really need to heal from every aspect, give it time, take time, and let go of past belief. No one's journey is the same. No one's destination is the same. We might think we are all coming to stand out, but not be the same road we pass, come. So there's no point judging my story with your own story. And the earlier you embrace healing, the better for us, because healing is the new high. You can't truly live a higher life if you're not healed. Forget the gymnastics we do and the lies we tell ourselves. No, I'm over it. You're over it. When you shut the door, you go back to tears. You read the messages. You go through the pictures. You are stalking the person on social media. So you've not truly healed, my sister, my brother. You are only lying to yourself that you're healed and you're not healed. Be it a belief system, be it something you've learned, be it individuals' experiences, work, career, children, parents. We need to heal and heal internally. What causes us pain is from inside, and what will heal us is also inside. So there is no need seeking for outside validation or outside suiting. It is within. And when you heal truly, you will know. And because I know that this healing is not going to be easy, that is why the month of March, as we are talking about high drive, one of the ways you can activate this is by your thinking. If you are able to change your thinking, your belief system, you are on your way to a higher life. If you can change the way you think about something. You know, Mr. Patrick made a statement. He said, he doesn't work for money. Now, it will take someone who understands to say, money is a currency. Relationship is a currency. Now, Mumu go follow friendship when money dey. Put $10, put this person here. What will you go? And for sometimes you go on social media, you see this or that. Me or $20 million. Many young people will come and say, 20 million, no, I'm sorted. Your relationship can give you that 20 million times 10. But it all depends on belief system. It all depends on your thinking. So as we activate our higher life, and even as we go through the method to see what you have a high drive, we need to change many things upstairs. Standard personalities are not usual things. I don't think like every other person. We challenge status quo. We do that thing people think is not obtainable. That is where we come. And we create that path. We pave the way. We show the people that you can wait. That's why it's right. It's the right way to do something. Let's activate our capacity by reading the book of International Bestsellers, Rules of Thinking. He's a very good author. I like the way his books are simplified. It's like the book of Proverbs. Sometimes that you are reading, and know that you are the fool. You just know. So this one with we're going to drop the spare, people will just accept out. If you take knowledge is expensive, try once. If you don't invest in reading, there is a limit to your growth. You might be so hard. I'm using him as an example, but I mean, I just to keep it. Yes, you are as good as the books you read, good as the people you relate with. So if it's just because you need you on WhatsApp, you have 400 numbers, and you can't even call 2, then you see that you're already missing out on ship. But if you read and better yourself, you know the right way to go about things and activate policy without struggle. So when we tell them in Standout, it is not because we won't keep you busy till next month because book review. Many of us read Healing is the New High, but we've gotten one from the book. And for the challenges that will come up, we refer to that book. You just yourself going to check that document. So when we just to read, we're actually doing ourselves more good. If you read the book, your thinking pattern will change. I don't know Richard Templar. He's not my father. I've read his books, Life, Rules of Work. There are many books. Don't limit yourself. Read, expand, broaden your horizon, and see yourself live a very high life. Free, soft, flowing, and floating above hindrances, trauma, and pain. Please join with me for the month of March. The Rules of Work in Richard Taylor. It's simple, self-explanatory, and I hope that next month will be more engaging than we are this month. Promise. Promise. I don't know amount, not next month now. Please, your question. Sorry, just a minute.
Okay, thank you very much. I just want to know, in this context, is forgetting the same thing with healing? If yes, I want to know, for instance, I had a roommate in school who used to keep my things well when I keep it myself. You know what I mean? Like, he steals, for instance, and my things are not normally the way I keep them. I know that he's the one stealing them. Then after 5 days, I'm in a place of work with the same person. Are you saying I should completely forget that person was a thief? Yes, I'm keeping my things, the way I just want to.
You don't use the sentence. Should I forget this person was? Did you hear him? Should I forget that this person, what it was? Anyone who is in Christ.
What they have come to and I realize it's a new thing. So you see, if you see from the same way you have seen them, you have not grown yourself. Can I say it again?
Yes, sir.
If you see people the way you have seen them yesterday and today you have not grown, the problem is not them, the problem is you.
Sweetie, you have a question.
I've started. Thank you. What advice? Go ahead. You can ask a question. If you have any other question, ask. Thank you, Amaka. Okay, I actually have a question. If you see people the same way you have been seeing them, the problem are the people, the problem is you.
Standout. So being in Standout, I know to me it has become like a character reformation process. And I think everybody's trying to actualize their purpose.
Everybody's being, not trying.
Okay.
You see, when you try, it's neither here, it's not a commitment.
Okay.
That's why we need to be able to connect energy to words. So think about when you say, I'm trying. You're living loose. You're not taking. It's not a definite thing. I am. Okay. It's a persuasion. It's a commitment.
Okay.
People say, I'm trying. Keep trying.
Okay. So my question goes this way. Many persons with a lot of information, exposure, and for the fact that many of us are educated, we do still have this thing we are holding on to. Like, I have an experience lately about somebody. Like, this person is someone you've worked with. You've been discussing with this person, having good time with this person. And then when the person comes out to the extent that he wants to choose a mate, and find out that this person came from a particular region, and from that place he said, okay, these persons are no su. So, and the marriage cannot go on. So my question was, how can this same person you think you vibe with, and this person suddenly becomes someone that you cannot marry to, and you feel that this person is a slave kind of person, so you cannot.
That's
So
why
it
challenging
means-
the cultural this thing. If you watch what we say yesterday, how come Africa said, how come the what's that list they give to us? How come they've not improved it? How come for years, decades, we are still reinventing yam. You have to bring 20 wheelbarrows of yam. In America, I don't, right? Why can't they say give us phone or data? Right? Yes, because everybody needs phone, isn't it? Including the village. Why have they not updated that? Because we don't question. We really don't question. And let me tell you, this is the problem. We live in the past. And our major problem is because we bring the past into the present. The past is gone. We are now here. Right? So you tell me I'm an Osu, but you work for me and collect my money. But yet, my Osu money is what you're using to show that you are this. How does it mean? What a paradox. I mean, what a paradox. Who classified Osu? Meanwhile, we go to the same church. And Bible says, if any man be in Christ Jesus, a new creature, all things have passed away. All things have become new. But when it comes to marriage, you go back to Osu. Who pronounced it? Right? Who pronounced this? It's a tradition. You're tied down by tradition of the old. But you say you want to move forward. And how come it's only Africa that had remained in that cultural bondage and they have not transformed those cultural bondage into technological freedom? Let's talk about it now because we want a good heart. It's like the Bible says the day of a righteous man shine what? Brighter and brighter. How has culture become brighter? Have you seen how wicked, how it is that a man is struggling to train the children? And they finish training the children. In fact, the children are still young. And they say, oh, we won't bury your father until a certain rite is done. Who is going to do it? Who? And yet they were uncle who have not helped give one scholarship because my mom is passed on and we are still students. And you say tradition must hold. How? Who said those traditions? You wanted to say something? Choma, you wanted to say something? Okay, yes. Okay, yes.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I just want some clarity on this, okay? Like, we get information, and that information enables us to do work, okay? So, you get information concerning a particular person. Maybe you had an experience with the person, and the person you know is a thief. Okay? As in, your experience with him is that the person was stealing. Okay? So, now you are in an area, like you talked about not sponsoring foolishness. wouldn't it be sponsoring foolishness when
You know that person.
you
is a
know
thief.
that person?
Have you seen him thief?
Okay,
You were told.
excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. All the information around.
the
Okay,
references.
but in love, you're not going to call the person a thief. Okay, you will treat the person
But
rightly.
you know that
but
what you've heard,
is it not at that point that
you'll be
you
cautious.
have to apply
Wisdom.
wisdom?
Withdraw.
Apply wisdom, not because you are against him, okay, but in case, because the person might not be a Christian, okay, he's not been
What
applying.
is about Christian or not Christian?
Okay, so just in case the devil may be operating, manipulating the guy, just in case, okay, as in, so that you will not help him, because sometimes some thieves do not plan to steal, but they just see the something there and they now steal. Okay, so you just, as a means of just helping a brother.
Okay, that's right.
Okay, to just.
You understand the question, right? You
Yeah.
understand the question? Okay, let me explain to you. There are 5 ways that we take that inform our decision or choices. Just hear this, okay? But you go to church, right? You said, as many are led by the Spirit of God, they are what? The sons of God. So they are led. Right? In that your decision, were you led? In that, was it the scripture that leading you or the story that is leading you? The story. Okay, let's keep it. So there are 5 ways. Listen. So number 1, divinity. Right? It is written and it's written. If God told me forgive, I will forgive. I don't care about what anybody thinks. Speak up. I'm led by the word. The word I give unto you, they are what? They are spirit and they are life. Period. The second one that leads us is my value. If my value look at a human being, irrespective of what I've heard, I will respect that person first and foremost as a human being. Now, I am my own one. This third one is by history. There was a historical event about people or place. So now it forms your decision. And it was a history. It may not be happening again, but it was just history. We didn't hear that some people are this. You never see, you never encounter. But it was a historical reference. Now you are now using history to make a decision. Are they bad? I don't know. The second one is experience. You had an experience of a certain things and all that. Now that thing is not happening, but now the experience is tying down. It was in the past. They are now dealing with that, with the experience over here. But you say you're a human being with freedom of choice. It means you don't have a choice. Experience, have your choice. The next one is cross-reference. It didn't happen. You have not heard. All the friends said this person is a thief. And you joined them to condemn them. But you said, if any man be in Christ Jesus, is a new creature. All things have passed away. He said, therefore, there's no condemnation to them who are in Christ Jesus. Do I support what the people are doing? No. Your embrace could just be a trigger that changes that person. Because you don't look at yourself from the place of strength and power and authority. You look at yourself from a place of weak and a victim. So we approach life from a place of victim. And that's why the story of the people will condemn them because we're afraid. And a child who Christ said, unless you have the heart of a child, the heart of a child, the first thing they do is what they call radical acceptance. When I walk on the road most times in the morning, I've been kidnapped. And the trauma of kidnap will put a present. If you're not careful, like the healing, it can control you all through your life. But if that happened, it's part of life and it's part of my path. So when I'm walking and see a similar issue, I say, hey, this guy, I dwell in love. I dwell in goodness. I don't interpret it from the person. I interpret it for who am I. My nature is love and goodness, period. So if I hear, I employ people and I make reference to them. At the background, I go check them up. and I hear XYZ happen to them, I say, that's my candidate, most times. Because you see, if you watch me, I've thrown away money, right? I've abused people, and I've done some bad things. It was because of certain individual that I vow never treat people the way I've treated people. We are too weak as a people. And Bible said, I give unto you power to tread upon serpents and scorpions and all the powers of the enemy, and nothing shall by enemies hurt you. So you see that historically we're influenced, experientially we're experienced, cross-referentially, that's what tied down, always living in the past. We talk about living in the moment. It's just like people dealing with me who have lied before. They are seeing me from the place of liar. That person died 2 years ago. Now I can't lie to you because you know why? I'm not looking for external validation. I'm looking for my validation, which is inside of you. Because really, you can't avoid pain. You can't avoid bad people. But yeah, you can deal with bad people from who you are, not from who they are. We don't deal with people from who they are. You deal with them from who you are. It's just like you say, I'm an honor. Do I treat people from the place of dishonor because they are in a place of dishonor, or should I treat them from the place of honor? Which one should I treat them? Yeah? You see that most times we treat people, how we treat people is who we are. We don't treat people from, if I don't know poverty, I will never treat people from the place of poverty. It's because I know poverty, that's why I can connect with it. Because like she said, it's a belief system. That's the thing. As, you know, I'm a fan of, what's this guy? He tells you that a mirror, everything that happened to you outside is a reflection of your inside. If your inside is peaceful, you find peace outside. If you are, it said to the poor, to the pure, all things are what? Pure. We read this skin, but we don't practicalize them. So it means that the moment you use information about people, you are impure about them because you have judged them before you dealt with them. Where's the faith in it? Because faith means I have no idea. Once I have an idea, I have a corrupt mind because my idea was informed by a history, from an experience. To the pure, all things are pure. Are you saying I can't be careful about people? Let the Holy Spirit deal with it. If you have intuition, he will tell you who to avoid. The places I've just walked up over here, I just know that this place is evil. But here, I recognize my power to deal with them instantly. But if I'm trapped by the fear, I'm crippled with the fear. Fear will cripple you and put you as a victim. But if you have a plain mind, honestly, you can sense evil around. You just know it. When I go somewhere, I've just sensed it. I just say, hey, there's something about this food. I won't eat it. I'm not going to judge it because I'm not crowded. That's why clarity is something you need to get in your mind. Clarity brings a place of calmness. It's in calmness that intuitive divinity interact with you because that's a place of emptiness and that's a place of nothingness. So I live a life of nothingness, really. So when you get into place of clarity, calmness, first thing is creativity. You are a creator, not to be created. Every time your fear allowed you to take a decision, you've been created and impressed and controlled by those things, external things. Of course, become constructive. Then compassion comes around it. Don't deal with the event of life from front of life. Accept it wholly, but yet deal with it. He saw the guy. Everybody was condemning, was looking for him. Jesus, everybody was looking for him. He heard about the guy who was dead. And they accused him. I thought you said he's your friend. If you were here, he wouldn't have died. You know, that's a discouragement, isn't it? Eh? Oh, everybody said, oh, see who is going to raise this person. Who? He went in and said, I am the resurrection and the life. So what do? I resurrect people. Do you understand? If you know who you are and deal with people, that's what they call wisdom. What's wisdom? First of all, perception. Get it here. What is wisdom? Perception. What is wisdom? Definition. What is wisdom? Relationship. So your true wisdom is how you relate with what happened to you, not how it is. That's wisdom. So depending on the condition of your heart, that's why you're going to interpret what is external. Think about it. When you're angry, everything about you is colored. When you're happy, everything about you is colored. When you are in lack or hungry, everything that you see that is a spoon is food, isn't it? But when you're full, what happened? Oh, no, I'm full. Honestly, we come from a place of emptiness. I mean, in terms of lack. And that's why you see our decisions are almost defined. Because the decision you are taking will determine the condition of your heart. Pull me up. Yeah, you want to ask a question? You are taking our time. Ask.
Okay, Mr.
Are
Patrick,
we up?
please, I actually want to ask concerning this healing, total healing. Growing up,
Come out. Come out.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick.
It was in the past.
I still continue with my question. I don't know how to talk before, like when somebody does something to me. I don't know how to
They
talk.
intimidated you
So
when you were a child.
I was not talking, but I cry. Even my mom, I don't know how
Ask
to
the
talk.
question.
So when I now noticed that it was like remaining in my mind, I don't react, but I find it difficult to forgive. So I actually started training myself on how
What's the
to
question?
react. How to react. So when you do something, I will react immediately.
So reaction means that you are being controlled by external forces.
Is what I'm asking.
Responding means that you have thoughtfully checked, how do I respond to this person to represent who I am? So there are two different things. Reaction means that I am reacting against an action. But responding means that it's my responsibility. I could ignore you, it's my responsibility. I can speak, it's my responsibility. But reacting, you have been triggered to say something.
That reaction now is what is still controlling me.
Okay,
Like,
so now,
when
okay.
you do something, if you are a child, I will like punish you immediately.
Because you are still having the
When
old
I-
heart.
So when I leave, like if I don't do it, it will be boiling my mind. So if I react as I'm going back to come, I will not remember again. Like my boy, I take him for instance. If he does something now, he will start running. He will run away. When he comes back, by then it has healed. I will not react again. If he's there, I will flog him. Like after flogging him, as he's crying, I will like, why did I do this?
So a story was told about a guy who had an issue with his boss. Listen to this story. He was working for his boss and collected loan. And for some reason, the boss said, okay, I'm making an account. Can I pay me my money? He said, you know what? Give me some time. I will give you back the money. Just give me some time. He went outside there. And his colleague was owing him a certain amount of money. And he said, you know what? Give me the money. He said, what? Okay. You blow the guy and put him to cell. And the boss, you know how story went to the boss. And boss said, oh, really? Don't you know it's what you give that was come back to you? I gave you mercy. You should have been merciful to the other person. Isn't it, right? So it's not that. So it's not now, since you are now a wicked person, come back into wickedness. Most of the thing that we give is because we are hurting. Let me explain to you. The first time that somebody took my 50,000 naira, I was a banker and I was saving. I was doing 001 to save that money because honestly, my target was just to have a 50, to have 100,000. I wanted to break the power of poverty in my, and I was working and they gave me, that guy came and he was doing a business. I knew he was stocked. So I gave him the 50,000 naira. And at that 50,000, then Beatles was just about 500 naira. Beatles, yes. There was a time 500 to buy Beatles. Don't worry, you guys. We enjoy life. You guys are not enjoying. You can imagine. It was 500 naira. And that was the first 50,000 I got. And I gave it to him. He didn't return that money. He kept that money. He was looking big, like he would come and oppress me. You know how I dealt with it? I remember when I lost 50 naira. My mom sent me to go and give my auntie 50 naira. And that's why I'm not afraid of money. So I lost it. You know how boys are playing with the money before you get there. I came back home. I cried. My mom bet. Oh, God. This Ogo head was. But like a child, I walk up to my mom. I say, you know what? It shows that if I lose the money, I can get the money back. That I'm going to own money. So that mental construct helped me to deal with that 50,000. But I now notice that I had unhealed attachment. Attachment is the problem of emotion. So I didn't know that I've attached loss to hate. So you know what happened? I think I did another money again. They took it. It continued to the day they took my 10 million. I've shared this story again. What now delivered me was one day I was so bitter because this 10 million then will buy me, I love Corolla, about 4 Corollas, because then Corolla was 2.5 million. In Port Harcourt here. So now one night, I woke up. The Spirit of God woke me up and asked me one question. He said, can you do good and get evil? I said, no. He said, do you put a seed and use hot water to water it or cold water? I said, cold water. He said, how do you know you are the person that gave that money? He said, let him go. Sir, ma, it's over 10 or 15 years. I don't know that man again, but I let that money go. And that's where the healing came. And the cycle of that money stopped. Why? Every action you do is a seed. Every word, every thinking, every emotional attachment to this thing is a seed. Because we don't see it as a seed that have a potential to blossom and bring back. And that's why you see, the more you hate that thing, the more you perpetuate it. Because you are sowing a seed of negativity in front of negativity. That's the cycle of negativity. And to break that cycle of negativity, don't be overcome by evil. Overcome evil by what? Good. So the moment you introduce good in the cycle, then you change the cycle. And that's why you see, have you noticed that if a parent, if a woman have a child, a daughter, outside wedlock, and hates it without accepting it, have you noticed that that child comes back and also have a child outside what? The wedlock. There's a continuation of that. And that's also the cycle of, it's so powerful. Bible is so powerful. If only we can embrace this thing, we could change the dynamics of life. Anything that from today that you hate, you will perpetuate it. From today, tell yourself, I love it. How can I love this bad thing? That's the only deliverance. If you don't bring love to it, you continue to cycle that. Consciously or unconsciously, it will continue. Can I tell you why? Did I tell you why? Let me explain to you. Honestly, I hated my dad. It was a strong passion of hate. Why? Because I feel that he didn't love my mom. Guys, be careful. And have you noticed that the same thing happened to women when they hate their father for treating their husband? They attract a man that treats them the same way their father treated their mom. It's a picture. If your mom crack into a relationship, you're likely going to crack into a relationship. The same thing about money. I had to understand that. I've said this time. My father used to say, there's no money, consistently. And I looked at it. I broke it all. Honestly, I saw everybody up and down. You know, I say, what? Not me. Money is good. I need money. And I loved it. And honestly, all the people are still like that. Go and check this thing. Give me my slide. High drive. Welcome to March edition. Please, everything I teach, I practice. Everything I teach, I practice. I don't want to isolate myself. I'm not a popular, famous seeker, but I want people to transform and come into a certain freedom of life and live a satisfied life and find fulfillment. Life is sweet. Life is good. Strong inspiration and determination to thrive. Listen, I want people to thrive. You can thrive in an odd place. You can thrive in sickness. In fact, you can thrive in backwardness, depending on the mental construct you have. So, strong inspiration. Stop looking for motivation. Look for inspiration. Inspiration and determination to thrive and grow, characterized by high energy and strong ethical base. I'm so important about the ethical base. Based on proactive and will force. You won't see this. This is my construction. And this is one good thing about reading. You know, if you watch my teaching, you cannot tie it down to a particular route. Because when I read, I bring it into my nature and reconstruct it as a pattern to move. When I listen to most preachers, I know the book they are reading. Honest, I can tell you, I know the book they are reading. But most times when you listen to my teaching, they are now my story. Please go on. Everyone is driven by what? Say it again. Say it again. Ask yourself now, personalize it. I'm driven by what? So ask yourself, pause. What's driving you? Pause. What's driving you? Write what is driving you. What force is driving you? Is it hate? Is it poverty? You know, I did in psychology, there's what they call DISC. What drives you? What inspires you? What is the support system you have? And what clarity of mind you have? We call DISC. I can take up that. What drives you? They are life forces. Say they are life forces. They are life forces. Every time you pray binding prayer, you are driven by demonic word. And that's why in prayer, you don't hear me talk about devil. It doesn't exist. They can't drive me. Does he live? Yes. Because there's a new driving force of love and liberty that drives me. And in that love, it suspends everything. So, they are spirit-led forces or mental-led forces. So, you are either, what is driving you is the construction of your historical, experiential mind that your mental construct have constructed it. So, you live out of your mind or you live out of your soul. You know that most of the thing you reaction is a function of construction. But responding is a function of, hey. So it's either you're being led by your mind, you prove, you justify, but you live from your heart of compassion, of empathy. They are light or heavy creation. Heavy creation or light creation. I like to be light. Light. Emptiness. I live empty. Really, I was talking to two young girls yesterday. They visited my office and all that, 13 years old. And if you see us in the flow yesterday, Kai, this girl loved God. My God, by looking at her from my constructed image, I would distort her dressing, but her spirit was quite different. Don't judge people by the cover. Judge them by the quality of that spirit. So ask yourself, are you light or heavy creation? Move on. Simple thing we're doing. Thank you again. Choma, are you here? Is Choma here? Choma, thank you for the day-to-day presentation. She makes my work so easy. The presentation skills are so in tune and spirit. I make them scattered, but she put them together. Marvelous work she do about the presentation. I wasn't teaching with presentation, but I felt that it was better, and so that people can be carried along. To be driven is to be guided, controlled, or redirected. What drives your life? Your choices and your decision. Please, pause. Before you speak to that person, what drives you? What's leading you? And I'm tired of when people say, I'm led by the Spirit of God. Then you get into a relationship or a job, you say, how did I enter here? But meanwhile, you say, I am led by the Spirit of God. Hey, I saw it. Sevenfold confirmation. 1 year down the line, you are asking yourself, how did I come? Does God lie? I dreamt about this job. It was coming. And yet the job that you dreamt that is about God is killing you. What a paradox. So, kulu temper. Let's deal with these issues and know. Please go on. Is somebody getting something right? Yes. Is it making sense, right? Yes. Let's look at this. I love Psalm 38. Read. Pause. Are you overwhelmed? Sometimes you say, I'm overwhelmed. Go back to the other one, heavy or light. Every time you are overwhelmed, you are heavy, you're occupied. I'm overwhelmed, I'm doing what? Swamped. How many times do you use that word? I'm swamped at work. I'm what? You see, every time you are heavy, you are beneath. Bible is so powerful. Why are we not utilizing it? Kai. Of what? My burden of what? And what? It clings, attached, hooked, imprisoned. So you got an accident. And the comfort of yesteryears is now saying that this accident has paralyzed me. It's not the accident that paralyzed you. It's a mental construct and what is guiding you that paralyzed you. I'm sorry that you got an accident, but yet it was your body that was accidented. Your true self is not accidented. That you lost a job. You're only crying because the money is not flowing. Ladies and gentlemen, you just lost a job. You created the job. You can create the job again. And say, it clings to me and what? Say it again. You see, that's why you are in the same spot. Won't let you go. Move on. Philippians, right? Can we read? Say, no, wait, calm down. I what? So when you depend on your mental construct, that's your strength. And that's why you're weak and heavy. Because the Spirit is light. The Word of God is light. On my own to what accomplish what? This. However, one compelling what? So it means that the problem is how you're focusing on things. Change the focus, you change the effect and the manifestation. The same thing you have been looking in this way. That's why when I tell people, you see the relationship, what happened when you get involved as a friend, you see your boyfriend or your girlfriend as a friend. The moment you see them as a husband or wife, what trigger in responsibility and roles? Because what you define relationship is roles. But when you were friends, you were just friends. Have you noticed? Now you change. And that's why the same person who is loving, the same person is hating. What happened? There's a new focus how you see that person, and that's how you're experiencing that person. So it's not really the person, but it's how you focus. Compelling focus. I forgot. As I what? Fasting my heart. Fasting my heart to what? To the future instead. So if I go down, I will come back. If part of my body ceased, there's a new part of my body that will emerge. Have you noticed that maybe somehow your right hand is what? Infirmed. Suddenly you realize that you can use it over here. You forget completely that yes, you had ever used the right hand. So I run what? Straight to what? Divine what? Invitation of reaching what? The heavenly goal and getting what? Please go. We'll bring scripture to life. So what is the path to higher drive? Say enlightenment. That's what we're doing here. Enlightenment. At the entrance of when I read that scripture, hey, Psalm, is it here? 119, verse 130. Can you put it in message or TPT? Is it part of it? Here. Can you bring it? Can anybody read it? While we're there. Enlightenment, showing understanding, aiding a positive way, and not the old fashion of false belief. Because the old will give you the old idea. I'm still waiting for that if you get it. So what is enlightenment? Awareness. I'm not going to talk so much about self-awareness. I am so aware, like I was talking to my colleague the other day, and I was raising my voice, and I was telling her, don't let me raise my voice. This is not me. Because I want you to understand that I'm putting this shout because I want you to hear me. And I'm saying, please don't you ever do this, because this is not who I am. So I was aware of what I was saying and the emotion that I was using. That's self-awareness. I had done something with a friend of mine, and as we were talking, I shifted instantly to where I was. He said, how? Because I'm self-aware that where this thing is going to lead me. And so I stopped. I didn't say a word again. He said, you're not saying again, because I'm self-aware that if we continue this discussion, this is where it's going to lead. That's self-awareness. The second one is, so when you are enlightened, honestly, we go to church, we go for seminar like over here. It ends there. What happened? It doesn't come to what? What's the second one? What's the second one? Transformation is not easy, because the word is refinement. And refinement is like, gold, right? From a certain stage. Put it through what? Fire. I told them that for you to shine, it's like a candle. You have to put what? Light. Right? And that's what light does. Like the heat. Oh, transformation is where the problem is. Because transformation means that I am moving from the old to the new. When you hear let go, how can I let go? This guy dealt with me. My boss dealt with me. He slept with me outside my consent. Then you become an old person that you didn't choose. So you rent your heart free of charge to a person who does not want it. So you carry that person. You have not been transformed. Transform is like, hey, you can't get this heart any longer. You access it mistakenly. I lock you out of it. That's forgiveness. Transformation to completely change one's appearance or character A marked change in the nature and the mind form of conduct. There was a day I was talking like this and I lied. And after this preaching like this, the person followed me to go over there. I said, I want to see that thing. That was from that day. Shame can transform you. From that day, I like to tell the truth. Because sometimes, we speakers, we mix something for people to convince us. Now lie. Not me. So that if you ask me, come to my office, I will do the same thing. I didn't say it well. Even me, as I was saying it, I know. From that day, I know. Because, people are watching you. So what it means is a remodeling. Every time you hear something that hits you, like, one of the things that helped me in scriptures, listen, I'm a product of scriptures. As I'm telling you something, I'm making reference to scripture, and I'm telling you this is the transformation. It remodeled me. I can't forget it. I woke up one day, and they told me, that scripture said, go and read it. Psalm 107. Is he a preacher? No, don't worry. We'll deal with it. This is who I am. That's my reference. He said, he blessed them. Who? And multiplied them. Who? So it's a nature to multiply. I say, and their cattle did not decrease. From that day, that's why I say I can't be poor because I can't be decreased. Why? The world remodeled me completely to another person. That's remodeling. And what does it do? It changes my intention. So how to move is to change it when you hear a word. To transform is to now to change the intention of what it is. I make intention. Like, one of the things I'm doing is that I will never dishonor anybody. Never. Because I read in somewhere about honor. And I started practicing it. It changed intention. The intention means the end, the direction of the mind, the purpose of an action, a predisposition. You win before you win. Can I say it again? Yes. You have won in when you see it. I don't do I can handle this one. This one, no day. I don't win now. I don't win now. When you move from intention, say what? I had a friend, and we couldn't agree. What happened was somebody gave me a gift of a book and did a description of a kind of leader I was. He said, how do you know that you are this? I said, I'm not the one who wrote it. And you accepted the book. Oh my God. We were always arguing for everything, and it wasn't my style. I went back and I said, what is the energy? He said, you have not defined your energy in life. There are two kinds of energy. Male energy and female energy. But that's not it. I'm going. Have you seen people who are always smiling? What's the name? No. Perfect. Perfect is always smiling. If you call smiling, he's smiling. I'm not joking. I'm not this guy. Sometimes I ask him, he's always smiling. Always smiling. Always smiling. And he reminded me of one guy we thought was a fool that was always smiling. Never get upset. Then one day I interviewed that guy and said, is it not how you people are getting old? I'm always young. Because the frowning will bring you a wrinkle. Smile will lighten your body. And honestly, that guy did marvelous thing because our boss will give him a very tough Gary. He was beating us blue, black. Because what was the force of his energy? Lightness, joy. So one day he was trapped in a elevator. That elevator wasn't working. He started laughing. Elevator! Elevator! Now, if I was the one that trapped in that elevator, I would have been freaked out. Energy is powerful. Energy that is connected to word of transformation changes you. Okay, let me go on. Integration and what? Do you do bad and good? Are you in a level of bad and good? Is bad bad? Is bad bad? Some bad, are bad. It's perspective, right? What if your bad is good to another person? Is that okay? So something you saw bad, but another person, this is my stay. So is it bad or good? Our major problem is that we do not stand in neutral to integrate bad and good. What has developed you more is the bad. The day I went to detention, and everybody left me in that detention. I stayed 30 days in that detention. And I look at myself, I'm the only one. I said, there's an opportunity in the detention. I started making money. I was selling pure water. And I said, man, turn pure water selling. Then in Alago, they will always bring people from overseas, like people that their papers have expired. They repatriate them. They used to come like in 20s, 25. I know they won't want to go and fetch water. Now me, I'll tell them, say, you need the pure water. I'll just give you, they'll be buying with their dollars. Integrating bad or good. Listen, I have what we call bad relationship, right? But they are not bad. Honestly, I press them because honestly, they were the source of my enrichment. Frankly, you know why I won't flirt with anybody? I have flirted before. I'm going to be saying these things so that you know that I'm not an angel. But when I understand every day of my life, honestly, my prayer is single focus. It's single focus. And if I get into another flow of relationship, it doesn't matter what anybody. Because one day, I was in church and my pastor said something. He said, what you are giving excuse at, other people are living it with it rightly. I said, oh, really? And from that moment, there was a transformation. Because you know how I used to do it? I get home, the food is not served in a particular plate that connects with the food. I lost appetite. No, it was that bad. And I will flirt off with food. You see how you're flirting? Because you're flirting with your mind. But recently I was in my house. I think my sister came, and honestly, I had my friend who we came together, and I said, hey, how I want to eat a particular food. And as I entered the kitchen, they gave me food, and I brought it with joy. The guy said, I don't understand. Don't you have opinion? I said, no. If I flirt with this food, it means I'm not committed to the person who has served this food. And unconsciously, flirting with food Also, you can flirt with your job. You can flirt with relationship. I took that food and I ate it so nicely. And he's looking at me and said, Patrick, I still don't understand. I said, that's focus. That's power of focus. That's commitment to this place. How did I get it? It's because of the past that you call bad, that have reformed, transformed, transitioned me, and placed me into an internal place of value. That's integration. What does it do? It starts from realization. Life is not an experience. You know, when I say people say, love is killing me, no, it's not the love that is killing you. It's the need in the love that is killing you. Because you think that love is expectation. Love is not expectation. Guys, love is not expectation. Love is an expression. It's not what to expect in love that kills you. But it's expression. Really, I have no control who loves me. I have control who I love. I have no control who will respect me. I have control of who I love. Because I realized that for a long time. And I recognize it. And what it does, and I began to have responsibility within me. That's responsibility, lady. I am responsible how I feel and how I think. It is mine. If I think wrongly, I will get wrongly. If I think my job is, oh, come on, my job is good, even in the bad of it. My responsibility and my relationship and how I utilize it. I will utilize my world, my life, any way I am correctly. Sometimes I see people cheat me. I don't say they are cheating me. Because the moment I say they are cheating me, I'm a slave to them. I could say I'm empowering them. Because now I'm rewarded by what I say and do. They are also rewarded by what they say and do. At the fullness of time and the law of justice, there is, the Bible said, if you continue in goodness and do not change, you will get a reward. So if I continue in badness and do not change, I will get my badness. Come on. Because there's a law of justice. Go on. Is it making sense? Right? So what is the expanded self? You have an expanded self. Of course, we quote it. Greater is he. Say it. Say it. Only in concept, not in utilization. Because it's an expanded you. Listen, you have not seen you. Hey, you have not seen. You think, have you not noticed that today, check back this photograph you took 2 years ago. You'll be asking myself, is it me? Because you are finer when you get older. Because you have more wisdom, you have more presence. Oh my God, you have no beauty. And your expression, that is what the beauty is. So the expanded self start from, what's the number one? Say it. Is there any relationship that is still open? In your heart, it's closed, but it's still open. Every relationship that hurts you is still open. You've not closed it. Every loss of money that when you invoke and you are still bitter, you have not closed it. Everything that you remember and still cause you pain is still open. Hard truth, right? People are looking for a solution. We give you truth. Because truth hides the solution. So people like quick fix. Will give you what will sustain you and transfer. So old. And what? You see, that's what the drainers. It's called drainers. It drains. It incapacitates. It belittles you. I'm not seeing that green. What's there again? Hot. Reoccurring what? Have you seen it? Amaka, have you seen your book now? Did I, I didn't copy that. And what? Say it again. Say that. Complaining is old. It's old idea. You're bringing the old to the new. Every time you complain, you're comparing now with the past. You didn't come with newness. That's what the root of complaint is. Patrick, so should I not complain? Complain. You know, who was that? Is it my friends from this church? They say they are fasting for complaint. I said, this is another level. So I now tried for 1 week, no complaint. I was more productive. All my energy puffed up. See, what I say, please experiment. Number 2 is what? So this is how it is. I learned this from the trees. Have you noticed that during certain times in the year, the trees empty what? Their leaves, right? How many of us empty? Sit down and say, I'm in emptying place. You know how I empty? I wash plates every night. If there's no plate to wash, I will create plate to wash. Because that's my empty. You see, when you practice this thing in the physical, how you know it began to take root in the in. Men don't sit down to empty. You know how I empty? Sometimes in my office, when you just catch me, I'm empty. I'm empty. Sometimes I just, when I hear the door open, I just shake like a boss. Because they will not take me serious most times. But it's my empty place because, you see, as a leader, what kills most leaders is the burden of expense. The burden of expense almost will ruin you because, you see, you are making money and you just see, oh. So when I sign paper, as they move, I will forget the paper. That's emptiness. Emptiness, most times I leave my office, ask my security men, I'll go to their office. I empty the responsibility of what? A managing director. I get into the burden of the security men. When you see me there, I am emptying. Sometimes, please, switch roles. Take your husband's place. You will empty being a wife. Switch roles. And that's a child heart. When I say practicing it didn't make sense. They'll tell me he doesn't fire. It's not that I don't fire. I fire. But I'm emptying. And you know, the scriptures are so powerful. Goodness and mercy shall follow me. What is mercy? Emptiness. So I have find good. I empty the good. See, what kept me moving, even as a marketer, right? If I hit $1 million, I'll empty that concept because you know how we say, I made 100, it tie you, it cling you. I'm empty. It's a fresh day. I come almost every day like empty. And I'm very efficient. I can pick picture. Listen, if you pass one figure, I empty it, but if you repeat that figure, I will see it. It doesn't occupy me, it frees me, but yet it gives me the sense to smoke it out. That's how I got an award in the bank. I didn't even know some of this in subconscious. I used to pick figures. They kept me like to do reconciliation. I emptied that. I was a burden of that. They gave me 3 days to reconcile an account I had never reconciled for 3 years. It was so complex because it was what they call a suspense account where we put in government money. And so we were supposed to remit that money. So it was so clogged. Even the most auditors couldn't access it. And in between 8 o'clock and 5 o'clock, I tore that over there, straight ahead, because I emptied the concept of the old. I focus on it. You see more in emptiness than you see more in occupation. What is killing marriage? I mean, I was talking to people 2 days ago or 3 days ago. Kai, if you hear me, I'm just saying it. And gave me history of 10 years in 1 minute. Oh, how do people live like this? Precise date, time, when, this. Oh my God. That marriage cannot work. The Bible says, he that repeats a matter separate friends. So repetition separates. Is it making sense, right? So let's leave this. Hey, divine space. It's called the divine pause. Have you noticed the way life is? A, B, C, D, E. There's a space. Have you seen that? If you open Guava Road, have you seen Guava, right? Then you see that there's a seed. There's a space. What is it? Expansion. If you don't create space in your life. See, let me tell you, there are clothes that you have in your house. They are occupying energy in your house. You can't move forward until you throw them away. Some people have shoes, 20-year shoes. They like to pack it like an adventure. All of them carry energy. I'm telling you, the day you clear up those shoes and give over there, you just see the release, because all of them are tied down to certain energy. And that's why if you don't give them attention, they will give you attention. Powerful men pause. Have you seen drivers? If you travel overseas, right, they drive long route. So usually you have a resting place. So it's advisable when you drive like a certain kilometer, they make it so comfortable. You come, you stretch your life. That is emptiness. You stretch, you take a coke, you do this and all that, you're stretching and all that, you move over there. By the time they keep driving, sleep will come, isn't it? Wearing is coming. You know why life is wearing? You don't have a pause. Especially in our generation. You see us in social media. From then you connect. Before you know it, 1 hour has gone. 2 hours have gone. You say, I have migraine. No pause. Is it the last one? Go ahead. Mental what? Say it. Put your hand. Remember your mental wound. Everybody has one. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Release it. Thank you. Mental wound. We bring concepts so that you know mental wound is the major problem. That's the bleeding. The second one. I'm emotional. People proud. I'm emotional. It's killing you. But it's a trap. The third one. Please take it easy. Identity what? Where have you been to yourself? I'm sickly. We personalize sickness. My sickness. It has now become mine. That word, mine, is identity. Identity release. What are you identifying? What do they know you as? You know that people, your friends, you did something in primary school. And now they've identified you. Sometimes you remember that, oh, they used to call me that, and you almost act in that way. It's because why? You have not released it. And some of you, your parents will say you will never do it. Or somebody that has given you a mental, oh, come on. Oh, me, they abused me. Is that I was abused, the way they say it. You have now identified it. Please, I don't belittle it, but please, you are bigger than that. It's now a hold. If you don't say it, will they say, we will know? We will not know. So what identity hold that you have named yourself that is keeping you? You can't fly. almost finished me. As I opened my mouth, I said, divorcee. I said, Moa, I leave the whole. And I lie. I put another name. What's the next one? You know what they call bond? Some of us are born to a relationship that is killing us. And it's a bond. You know it. You find no reason. And the only reason why you're still there is the dependency and need. It's a trap. That's a bond. A better bond is how you find habits. It's a masturbation is a habit, is a mental bond. Because you have bond it now, so it's very easy. You need to release it. There are people who their mental bond is they like owing people. Mental bond is, I can't marry a certain kind of people. It's a bond though. It's not release. He must be in a certain class of personality bond. Maybe you read something or story that you have. That's a mental bond. Mental bond is that money must come in a certain way. Oh, your deliverance, the day I know that church had mental bond was when I was passing somewhere. They were slapping people, said it's deliverance. I said, what is this? And I read the Bible say that a righteous man is delivered by knowledge. What's the next one? Say it. Say it. Say it well. Say it. Are you dependent somewhere? All of us are. And the reason why you're still in that relationship, you're too dependent. More. It was bread that was my relationship on bread. I dealt with bread though. Bread dealt with me. Even now, I like granite, but I'm no longer dependent. I eat it consciously. Like I have one bottle, is there. And I look at it and say, I like you, but I'm not. And you see, the more you deal with this thing, now because I'm in control of you, you are not in control of me. And that's why people walk is their dependency. If I don't do this job, I will not. Who told you? 6 months you're in this hospital, but you're still surviving. Is it making sense? Which one is this? How many of us are regretting? The more you hate, the more you regret, you reinforce. But celebrate your choices. I made up my mind, no regret. If I made a mistake, it was in the past. I celebrate it, love it. You know what? Inside that love, there's an enrichment and empowerment of wisdom, of strength, and inner strength. So I release. Once you regret, you are still tied down to the bond. Because yes, I made a mistake around it. Does that mean I'm going to start regretting? And that's what creates resentment, which is what need for approval, release. Please, when you dress, who do you dress for? Very easy. Very easy. Let your boss get in and say, what is this you're dressing? You're just asking your colleague again, am I okay? But before you dress, you say you dress for yourself. Why is it irritating you? So I've already talked about this disc. This is not divinity. This is driven. What drives you? But go ahead, I'll talk about this in some other time. Thank you. We're almost done. The trunk. Pure presence. Have you heard that story now? Ma'am? Have you seen? I'm talking to you. Pure presence. Pure presence. Yes. Pure presence, and I come to this place with no idea. Ladies and gentlemen, our problem to our prayer is that we have a concept of prayer. We don't go to God with emptiness because now you have taken an earthly, heavy problem into a heavenly freedom. And in freedom, In heaven, there's freedom. You have to ascend into that place from a pureness of you problem in the baseline. That's why my thought is higher than your thoughts. So you bring a lower thought. That's why you cry from morning to night. He doesn't listen to you because he doesn't connect to your heart. He connects to the freedom up there. One day, how I got to know this, I was praying. He said, stop bringing your need. We don't recognize this need here. It's a state of being. Like if I pray for idea, I work the idea. How do I know this? Let me share it. Let me break it down. Have you heard the story about Isaac blessing the children, right? Why is it that I want to bless my children? And I will ask them to go out there to bring me something. Pause. Have you heard about it? We are equal because creation responds to equality. And that's what Jesus was saying, verily, verily, I said. He was coming to a place of certainty, not from the place of doubt. James was saying it, a double-standard person cannot accomplish anything. Pure presence. I approach a restaurant, not from the concept of the old restaurant I visited. Once you approach any restaurant from the one you visited before, you make a comparison. That's not pure presence. So if you see a black African, and you say because he's a black African, because black African, you know what happened? You are not pure present at that moment. You are corrupted in your mind already. And that's what is also killing relationship. So you are in a relationship, you are comparing that relationship with the old relationship that you had. Oh, Patrick was so nice and calm, and this guy is not calm and nice. He's not Patrick. It's not Patrick. It's not pure presence. It's defilement. Defilement is not when you do sin. Defilement is when you use the old to corrupt to the new. You get to a church. I have this a lot. Oh, in my former place of work, that is not how we do it here. Drop it. Why did you leave? Why did you leave? Oh, you know what? Hey, I'm the boss. Now me. You're carrying old. The same thing, you're going to taxi, you wake up in the morning. That's why you lose your boss. Why? You take the old. I read a story about a lady who in Israel was coming back from work. And, by intuition. Intuition doesn't happen in preoccupation. It happens in emptiness. Pure presence. If you get to your house now, don't look at the house like from yesterday. From today, go back and look at that house that has been living for 10 years as a new house. It becomes new. Do you have breakout? Do you have breakout? You know why you continue on that breakout? You are looking at the picture of the pureness of your skin before into now. And that's what creates your anxiety and worry. And that's why they are collecting your money, cosmetics. Because they will show you a picture of a face, and now that face was digitalized through a process. Then you think that when you use that cream, it's but it's not working. It can't work. Because there's an old idea, which is a corrupt idea. But yes, in that cream, without seeing the picture, and you just say it will work. Which will give you what? Which will give you what? This one. What's the next one? What's the next one? Say I'm an observer. Say I'm an observer. Say I'm an observer. Say I'm an observer. I learned something. I learned this from my graduate. He said I did like I'm an observer. Like you are doing me, I'm observing how you are doing. So I am not engaged by your doing me. So in that engagement of God. So what it does that? So what it does that? Still give you the opportunity to observe your feeling, your thought, your belief, your emotion. And this is unfortunately, even the we call the practice will have the practice of and have more results. What's the next one? What's the next one? I won't deal with that. Do you know why you're afraid? Do you know why you're afraid of your mind? That's why you're afraid. Because the fear mind that's afraid. It's not pure. Because the fear, you're connecting the old to the now. You're connecting the old. Definition. How do you define? That's what I see now. How do you define? I start defining you. That's what I see now. As I start defining you as and why? It's the weakness of my lack that I'm defining. It's from the weakness of my lack that I'm sorry. What's the call for? They call for. They call for. What's it? We heard. The truth will set you what? Will set you what? You are engaging life. So if you are engaging life, what are you afraid? Well, we have replaced truth to what? Logic. Well, we have replaced truth to what? Logic. What's the next one? This guy that died. What's his name? You know, this guy that died. What's his name? This guy that died, American. You know what happened? He was teaching principle. You know what happened? He was teaching principle. Principle is the core of life. He was teaching principle. Principle is the core of life. If you don't follow principle, it means, see, any company. If you don't follow principle, it means, see, any company. Do you know what belief is? What's the next one? Talk about lead to lead to what? Lead to what? And I've explained this concept. I have to talk for me. B. I don't wish to be I am. I don't wish to be kind, I'm kind. I don't wish to be rich, I'm rich. I don't wish to be healed, I am healed. It didn't say my child, well, I wish to be healed, no? It's a state. So I walk like already healed. I walk like I already got a job. I walk like already in the country. You know, I'm going to visit in a country and I've already done the research about them and how they dress, how they came, do the back, and I'm already thinking like them. The only thing I don't know how to do is language because I have an issue with language. Otherwise, I'll speak to them. In my mind, I do the economy. That's big. I cook before I cook. I will practice it. B is the state. Listen, to go far is to be what you're desiring. That's what don't pursue the dream, we will be the dream. So this is how this thing emerged. I was praying for destiny helper. Who is praying with destiny like me? No, me. I know, yeah, destiny helper. Let me get destiny helper. Yeah, destiny helper. It doesn't correspond with the truth. No, the principle. How was I? Listen, anytime I'm broke, right? I desire to have money. I become money to somebody. I will take my last, what we call last kobo, and give it to that person. So, when I know the truth, I work with the principle, it creates a belief structure a flow, not struggle. Every time you are struggling in life, check the truth in the struggle. Check the principles. Check the belief system. You can't flow. It's long, it's a long process, but it's the solidity of life. Let's go. Come back. That's the shortcut. That's the shortcut. One of my colleagues there, so we talked about something. They gave me a bill. I just do it cross my mind, by intuition. I felt that there was something wrong about this. And I followed the principle of this. Truth, what's the truth? I said, what's my belief? And I called the guy. I said, do that. That guy now, what he's saying, each time I called him, he said, you people are good people. Why? Principle. There are times really, like people work for me. Honestly, when I value what they brought in, I won't pay them. But when I follow the principle over there, they are not the one cheating me. I would cheat myself if I don't fulfill my obligation. I honestly don't like to owe anybody. So the truth is that, oh no man, nothing. So when I'm owing, in my heart I have paid. The manifestation has not come. When money comes in, temptation will there be, you're owing somebody, money comes in. You say, because I'm already owing, let me solve this problem. No, I want to close the end. You see where closures comes in. Because once you close that, it's easier to access order. And that's the principle I follow. All right, let's close. Sorry. Close your eyes. Open. Think about when you close your eyes to pray. You pray better. When you open your eyes, you're watching who is praying and not praying. How they are praying. There's a distraction, isn't it? And that's the same way. Instead of you to look at your book, you see your phone pop up. By the time that pop-up comes in, exam is over there. Now you have shifted your focus from the book now to social media. And they will not ask you about social media. They will ask you from your book. And now when they ask you a question about your book, you are going to write from social media. The enemy comes to steal, to kill. What he's doing is shifting your attention and giving you falsehood in a place of truth. What are you aligned to? I don't care how long it is. If I align to the truth of the Word of God and the principle and my belief system, I'll get a result. It may take a long time. I've got healing. There was something that was here. But for me, I said, hey, I will align to the Word of God. I align. I've gone to detention, aligning to the truth. They accused me, but I aligned to the truth. I didn't defend myself. I stayed in that place. It built me up. But they saw me. Because you see, no matter how my hair is cut, I will come back. It's the truth. My future is bigger than my past. Take the treasure, I will regret the treasure. I tell you not, I lie not. Because the source, my life is connected to the source. We have talked about SSS. Who remember SSS? Source, self, and what? Service. That's alignment. What's the next one? Amplification. See, you cannot see this thing. Go and check all the thoughts. You know how I constructed them? I constructed them by what I practice on a daily basis. And I'm seeing amplification. So if you give me the word of God, I amplify it. If I learn something, I amplify it. If I go somewhere and I learn something, I'll begin to amplify it in my house. So I learned that from the Japanese concept. I can't remember, I think Hong Kong. What they call is imitate, experiment, and own it. Learn, break it, and apply. We don't apply. Have you noticed that when you finish the attention in church, you get to the car park, no more alignment to what you have learned? You have not practiced, amplify it in the house. What happened? Anchoring. It means that I face opposition. I don't quake in the opposition. I anchor to the truth and the principle and the belief. No matter what, I won't give up. Please go ahead. The last one. Thank you. No, we don't clap. Let's just close. You have a question? Any clarity? I'll clarify. Yes. Abraham, you've been so quiet. Where's your brother? You didn't come with him. Is he okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Patrick.
Yes.
So, my name is Abraham, and I want to ask just one question.
Yes.
What's the place of truth in business, say marketing or sales?
So let's say the truth will be, oh no man, nothing, for instance. Right? Let's say you've known, oh no man, nothing. Right? And they gave you money in business. And you don't pay. How have you aligned that? I know where you're going. I do business. So my colleagues are here, they can ask you. So they asked me, oh, this person wants to buy this, and he wants this XYZ. And I told them that we can't go outside the threshold of this. Yes, we need the money, right? It won't cost me nothing to have aligned with them, right? Okay? Then I have now collected the money to solve my problem. That company, they will tell you that company is a dupe. When they want to do real business, they won't come to you. Even though you cooperate with them, they know you alter your book. I am in a place, my colleagues are also here. I don't even know how they do it. So we do business. And, okay, so company has asked us to do XYZ. XYZ, recommended price over there. I don't know whether they are though. I don't know. But I've never asked them one day, what are you doing with that business? What are you doing with this? Follow the process. If we got 1 naira, it's okay. If we don't get, because I've seen it. Have you not noticed that Nigerian government lies? That's why we're like this. Go and check. I work with the multi-internationals. I'm not saying they don't lie. They have their lies. But you see, they are more progressive than Nigerian government because they follow process. Truth is process. I've seen people who were lying in their business. Okay, so there's this story I learned that changed the concept. So there were 2 guys that were employed. So the boss will come and say, alter this receipt to reflect a certain, people were paying them. They say, alter this receipt. The lady said, no, it contradicts my faith. And I'm a faith-based person. He said, I am the boss. Please, sir, I will not do this. I beg with you. This thing will not line up with me because I am lying with you. And the danger about this is that the day these people will get to know, they won't do business with you again. So consistently, He will go to another place. He say, oh, do this. And a boss say now. He will write and alter it. He has flow with the Oga and didn't advise the Oga. So when the Oga want to retire, then they suspended that lady for like one year because, I mean, she didn't flow. So the Oga wanted to retire and was looking for who was in the system that can continue. You know who he went for? The lady. He said, go back, restore her back, because this one will finish this company. But at least this one has integrity. That's the point. I can't forget one day like this. My accountant, I beg of you, just explanation, I beg, had asked us, let us go and put money in MMM. So that at least we will be using it to pay salary. It's okay. And I asked, all the salary you have been receiving, is it from MMM? There's nothing wrong. But it's not, you know, when they were doing Forex, my friend told me, come and put money in Forex. I said, it's not my pattern of money making. I'm not saying it's bad, right? It's not my core belief of making money. I don't want to do it. And I said that if I put my money, I will shut down the system. It will shut. I know joke. The person used to be here. And I said, okay, take this 500,000. The day I put that 500,000, what was that one that was raining? MBA. You put your money there. That's what I remember. And the day I put that money, that was the end of MBM. So you see, people know the truth of where. Have you noticed, study the tribe of Israel, right? Each tribe have what gift they have. So you have a gift. Instead of follow your gift, like so you're a runs girl. You know that you're not a runs girl. Right? Now you are now in, because it's raining. Other guys who are in that will go and escape. You continue to step over there. You are the one that they will catch. That's not your truth. Are you getting it? As simple as they are, to observe. That's why you have to be observed. To be able to observe. There's certain business. I mean, in my office, they bring 1 million kind of business. So they do that, say, okay, I will try. Go. Because I know it's not my part. Just take that one. Because you struggle. But give me my own part. I walk over it. Another question will close. Let me take her. This one that she's asking. Did anybody get something right? Is that okay? Okay.
Standout.
Defining standout.
So part of there is an aspect that needs to be cleared. We talked about certain things happening in life that you are not comfortable with.
Yes.
I don't like this, I don't like this. And that thing keep reoccurring, and that's what you keep saying.
Yes.
So how do we overcome that?
Yeah, I love it. Accept it. There's what I call radical acceptance. Right? Now, when you go to the sea, do you see the same sea flowing? What happened? There's a new water replacing that place. It's a flow. What happened is that resistance, rejection is opposition. So, for instance, Didi, honestly, there are things I hated about myself. Like, I didn't know I was beautiful, like handsome. Frankly, I was comparing myself with my brothers. They were light skinned, they were taller, they were trim, and everybody was clogging around them. No, really. You know, and I hated it. I couldn't accept myself. The day I accept they are who they are, I am who I am, it changed. Man, we reject a lot. Rejection is a force of continuation. But how do you do it? Love it. It's hard, right? It's very hard. And that's why it's the truth. Do you understand? Okay, so which give you an example so that I'm clear. Do you have a particular example?
For example, maybe somebody that doesn't keeps out late. It's something that's become like a cycle.
A friend of mine was having problem with the husband. And so when he comes, the same thing exactly, right? The same thing. She will lock the door and said, go back to where you're coming. So the guy will say, I came back home. He didn't even allow me to explain. So he will go back to where he is coming from. The other one, he said, idiots, I won't cook for you. The guy will carry his bag and go out. He's looking for peace, you're giving him trouble. He continued in that cycle. The first thing I did was to kneel down and apologize. I said, let's try a new thing. If it doesn't work, throw me away. I said, next time your husband is coming, dress so well, nicely. When he comes in, go and make make food you like, put hot water and get over there. Honey, how are you? Welcome back. How was your day? And over there. I just boiled water and your food is ready. I'll wait for you until you finish. You try the first one, try the second one, try the third one. What happened this time? Suddenly, because she was now dressing, and so they said, are you sure that when I go out, another man doesn't come to me? So let me go and check, just in case that another guy is coming to check out because now he's judging himself from where he's coming from. So he just saw the wife, cross-leg, was sipping red wine. He did not understand. I said, honey, do you want to join me? He looked at it. He could not understand. He just knelt down. People don't change because you intend them to change. People change because you have changed. Once you change, you changed. But the moment you continue to hate them, you continue to show them that's the only way. But you see, when you show me an alternative, don't push it. Don't over there. If you push it, you pull them out. If you don't push it, you attract them in. A person called me from Abuja. My husband did that over there. I said, really, can I engage you to do something? So when was the last time you did your husband's nail? He said, that man, how can I do that? He should go to the nothing. That's okay. Okay, can I pay you to do it? Because I like to involve my money. I said, okay, let me pay. And I paid. I said, it did. And okay, when was the last time you bought gifts to? He said, does he buy for me? What's that? I said, okay, take my money, buy a gift to your husband. What happened? The day he sent me their picture, see me. See, every time somebody do something and you hate that person, you are equal to the same person. Because evil is equal to evil. He said, but I'm the one taking the bond. I'm always asked this question. If you are a good tree, will you produce bad tree? Yeah? Are you sure? A bad tree produces. So do I now change because another person is a bad tree? You see why our teaching are practical. They are not something to come out. I can book it, but let's bring it down. I have told you how I hated my parents, right? Honestly, I hated them. And honestly, what I suffer, I link it back to the hatred. until I had to go to my mom and release myself to my mom. No, I'm telling you, I'm not joking, because I know that I was a good guy. Not perfect guy, but at least there's some level of goodness that you can say, like, this person is responsible. Why are they rejecting me? There are forces behind it. We talked about force of creation and light of creation. I had to go down there, close it out, love my mom. In fact, when I was blaming myself, my mama said, no, you took care of your father. So that has, and I released my father because I know the weakness. What are you talking about? The children, the 3 sons of Noah. You remember Noah? One of them hated the father, right? Without saying a word, he became the hate. The other people covered their father's nakedness. What happened? Life changed. Go and check that history. When you cover your husband, God will cover you. When you expose when you expose your husband, God exposes you. The same thing about you. Honestly, I've been wrong, what we call wrong relation. I bless them. I was talking to my ex-wife, and the person said, "Is it not?" I said, "Why are you talking like that?" I said, "Hey, she's the most beautiful person that ever happened to me. That where I am is a function of where I'm coming from. And you need to celebrate her." And it's a paradox. Am I not the one saying it? I'm not giving you storybook. I'm telling you what I practice. Other people say, idiot. When they go back in that same spirit, they married an angel, they will still convert that person as a bad person. That's not true healing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Patrick. Wow. Are you guys blessed? Did you enjoy yourself? Are you sure? That is what Standout does for us. Ooh, first timers in the house. Stand up, stand up. Uh-huh. A round of applause for yourself.
You know, when I started stand up, I was copying books. But now I'm copying my experience. And that's what reading does. And every time you read and you have not had language, then the other person's language is controlling you. Even when I make a reference, I modify the reference to suit my own words. That's how I have broken it into the. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Patrick. Stand out. Stand out. So I want to ask a question. How do you feel? Like after how many hours? How do you feel? Okay, I have a question. So if you are tied with some bags of stone, right, and you're thrown into a river, how do you swim up? You have to release the stone. Now that's what Standard does to you every month. Whenever you step in here, you need to go back home very, very light. Do you believe it? So how many persons am I seeing in the next month? Can I get a wave? Am I seeing you the next month? Am I seeing you stand out? Are you bringing somebody? A round of applause for yourself. Okay, so welcome to Stand Out with Mr. Patrick. This is something we do every first Saturday of the month. And we always have Stand Out here. And it starts from 11 in the morning. So please, let's always try to make it out here on time, okay? We actually had to scrap out some events and programs today, like the panelist section and the spoken words because of time. So please, next time, let's do with our time. So we meet on the first Saturday of every month for Stand Out with Dr. Patrick Oduma. We meet also on the second and on the fourth Sunday of the month by 5:30 p.m. for leadership class. Now, we also have an executive class on the fourth Sunday, which is held online on Instagram. That means we all have to follow the Instagram account, right? Right? Good. Now, every Saturday, you can actually tune into 92.3 FM Nigeria Info every Saturday at 9:15 a.m. Join us every Friday by 6 p.m. for an enriching hour with Mr. Patrick, and also to book a counseling section. This is the number on the screen. It is 070-1031-2296. Are you happy? Are you happy? Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not on Instagram or if you're not following any of our social media accounts, please, can I have a wave? That means everybody here is following us. Good. You can follow us on Facebook with www.facebook.com/soistandout. And on YouTube, it's www.youtube.com/Mr. Patrick Oduma. And also, you can also check us on website on www.soistandout.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of Standout. Okay, we have an upcoming program. Wow. Have you guys heard about the Builtmen community? Who has heard about the Builtmen community? People should not feel like that. Now, it's not because it's only men. But yes, the men. I can touch my beers, yeah. The men, we have a program coming up, and it's strength and stamina with Mr. Patrick. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about 360 fitness for the modern man. As you can see, fireside chats, mentor stable, and medical checks. And it's happening on Friday, on the 28th of March, 2005. And it's happening, it's happening here, same venue. You said? Sorry, 2025. Sorry, thank you very much. So it's happening here. And also, we have another upcoming program. The Self-Creation, a masterclass. The first edition happened earlier, and this is the second edition. So this is also happening, this is happening on the 26th of April, on a Saturday. And you can also register online. As you can see, there are registrations here. You can see the early bird is 15,000 naira. I can't really. Okay, late bird is 25. That means if you fly on time, you pay 15,000 naira. If you fly late, it's 25,000 naira. So I urge you all to fly on time in Jesus' name. Good. So it's happening on the 26th of April, which is a Saturday. Is that good? Are we going to attend? How many persons are going to pay today? Like Nana? Nobody's paying. Okay, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, for the fact that you stayed here from the beginning of today's Standout till now, you are a champion. Do you believe it? Do you believe it? At this point, I want to say congratulations, because this is the end of Standout with Patrick Oduma. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Looking at the slide that is showing there, right? it's important we understand what is here. UDI, Uduma's Development Initiative, is an umbrella covering Standout and other platform we have. We have the Duo Hub. Duo Hub is for married people. We have the Butte Men, it's for only men. And we have the Equip Boy Child, it's for only boys from the age of 9 to 17. So now, and there's one thing in particular about UDI. UDI is mentorship. As you are here, you're a mentor. Please let me tell someone you're a mentor. So what you have learned in any of these strata, what you have learned, we expect you to go out and teach somebody. And when you're coming next, you come along with that person. And as that person comes, the person goes, brings someone else. So it's like we multiplying ourselves and becoming like Dr. Patrick Uduma. You can bring 3, 4, 5, like Samuel brought about 4 persons. Yeah. So this is what UDI is about. This is what Standout is about. Thank you very much for coming today. Till April next month. Have a lovely day.